Well, good morning. I'm Brent Adams here with your Rural Strong Morning Ag Report for this Friday, December 22nd, the 356th day of 2023. Leading off the headlines this morning, the partisan fight in Congress over tougher southern border controls to stem record illegal immigration is now slowing legal farm trade with America's biggest foreign customer, Mexico. The fight that's kept lawmakers from passing a national security supplemental bill this year is now spilling over into trade with impacts for grain and other farm shipments to Mexico. Number 2 Senate Republican, South Dakota's John Thune, told reporters just outside the Senate chamber.
We got rail crossings in the United States and Mexico that have been shut down temporarily because Customs and Border Patrol has had to shift their employees over to processing migrants.
An unforeseen impact to relieve overwhelmed Border Patrol agents. But that is now having an impact on grain, feed, and ethanol exports at rail crossings in Eagle Pass and El Paso, Texas.
So you now have an important bilateral trade arrangement or bilateral trade coordination between us and Mexico that no longer exists. Hopefully that's only temporary. But again, it's a symptom of this problem, which is a national security threat, and we can't trade with our biggest trading partner in the world.
The railroads and lawmakers are protesting the move to close 2 of 6 railroad systems that cross the border and affect farm and consumer goods going all over the United States as well as into Mexico. Well, the Farm Service Agency takes enrollment applications and election signups for 2 of its Farm Bill safety programs through March 15th. USDA Radio's Rod Bain has the details.
Enrollment and election are now open for producers wishing to sign up for either of USDA's Farm Bill Farm Safety Net programs. Farm Service Agency Administrator Zach Ducheneau says for agriculture risk coverage and price loss coverage,
ARC PLC election and enrollment opened on December 18th. Producers can complete that enrollment and change any elections that they make until March 15th, 2024.
As the 2023 Farm Bill has been extended for 1 year. For ARC and PLC coverage to be obtained for the 2024 crop year. Administrator Ducheneau says producers need to be mindful that
ARC and PLC elections can impact eligibility for some different crop insurance products.
More details about ARC and PLC and crop year 2024 enrollment and election are available through local FSA offices or online at farmers.gov. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
And food prices could make the news again in 2024, but a different kind of news. Here with the details is USDA Radio's Gary Crawford.
In 2022, food prices at the grocery store made news by increasing just under 11.5%. This current year looks like prices will rise by about 5%. And what about 2024?
Food prices are expected to continue to decelerate or slow in 2024.
In fact, USDA says they could descend enough to make news of a different kind, a happy kind. USDA economist Megan Schweitzer told us
food at home prices,
that's food bought at the grocery store,
are predicted to decrease 0.6% in 2024.
Down by 0.6% below 2023. And the news story from that is this.
So the last time we saw a decline in food prices at the grocery store, an annual decline, was in 2017.
7 years ago, and if I sound excited about that, I am, but Megan says I shouldn't be too excited just yet.
We are quite a ways out from the end of next year.
And so grocery store food price possibilities range from going down by about 5% or on up by about 4.5%. Gary Crawford for the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Well, it's almost that time. Santa and his reindeer getting some help from the U.S. Department of Agriculture that will clear the way for Santa's annual delivery trip. Here again is Gary Crawford.
Here comes the Santa Claus. Rise up.
and his regular reindeer, plus
Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer.
they were all on a frantic Zoom call with the Agriculture Department's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service. They were worried, would the U.S. let the reindeer into the country with all that's going on? The U.S. does not allow animals to come in from other countries without a total health check, this to keep them from bringing in foreign animal diseases and infecting livestock here. Of course, Santa was musically panicked.
We fly at midnight, the North Pole in the distance. I'm in dire need of assistance.
Our port veterinarians are standing by, ready to give Santa all the assistance he needs.
Dr. Brianna Schur with USDA's Port Services says USDA was able to do a telemedicine health check of the reindeer and clear them for takeoff. Now, when Santa's ready to enter the U.S. in a few hours, vets will check the reindeer again.
And we will require cleaning and disinfection of the bottom of the sleigh and ask Santa to put his boots in a foot bath and wash his hands.
So after that, we can say again, here comes the Santa Claus. Gary Crawford for the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
And finally, this morning, the dairy business can get crazy at times and really crazy at Christmas. Here one final time is Gary Crawford.
Most of us associate this time of year with, sleigh bells or jingle bells, but some of our farmers associate it with, even if they haven't used a cowbell in 30 years. Of course, we're talking about our dairy producers, some of which have been told more than once they were crazy to get into the dairy business in the first place.
Sometimes I think I'm crazy.
Ken Smith, dairyman from Remington, Virginia, he says Christmas Day around his place is actually crazy, or to use his word,
Fragmented. You get about 6 hours with your family, and the rest of the help get about 6 hours. And everybody comes together to make sure the work gets done.
Work. The cows have to be milked and fed on Christmas Day, just like any other day. So on Christmas Day, in order to let the Smith family have some time and the other workers to have part of the day also,
We have to reach out and help everybody else.
that's the spirit. But Ken may get a really rare, important gift this year after 40 years in the business.
We're really close to the break-even point.
Right.
Crazy.
Gary Crawford for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Washington.
Well, you can keep up with the latest in the world of agriculture by subscribing to the Tractors and Troubadours podcast from Rural Strong Media. Each week, I bring you agriculture industry newsmakers, hot button industry issues, educational features, and the best in traditional country music. The Tractors and Troubadours podcast can be found at ruralstrongmedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts. We hope you go today and download the newly released episode 111 featuring our musical Christmas gift to you. It's more than an hour of our friends performing both timeless Christmas classics and new songs destined to become classics. Again, download it at ruralstrongmedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts. We also invite you to join us daily on Rural Strong Radio, our 24/7 streaming radio station found at ruralstrongmedia.com or on the Live 365 streaming radio app for your mobile device. Each day, we bring you our award-winning agriculture programming, as well as the best in traditional country music, mixed in with a little bluegrass, western swing, southern rock, and inspirational music. And now featuring your country Christmas favorites. Again, the place to find Rural Strong Radio is ruralstrongmedia.com or the Live 365 streaming radio app. We're portable, so take us with you everywhere you go while you're working on the farm or ranch. We'll get you through those long, challenging days. Well, I'll be off next week celebrating Christmas with my family, but I'll be back again on Tuesday, January 2nd with another Rural Strong Morning Ag Report here on Steve Shetler Media. Until then, make it a great week, everybody, and Merry Christmas.